And we're ready to go on a ride. Last night, beloved late night talk show host David Letterman took his final steps onto the Ed Sullivan stage. But what did he and others bring to the talk show world? Well, we're kind of setting the landscape, and then we're going to talk because Shawn Wayans is in the house.
Oh, man. I'm taking your job.
It's the Late Show.
Late night talk show hosts have long been a staple in television programming since the show Tonight with Steve Allen premiered in 1954.
The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson.
When these shows first aired, the formula was simple: part talk show, part variety show. But the master who took it to another level, 30-year host of The Tonight Show, Johnny Carson.
You thought this was the Michael Jackson concert, didn't you?
In 1992, Carson handed over the torch to a new era of hosts that emerged on the scene, ushering in a more tongue-in-cheek method of hosting, reminding us we can laugh at ourselves. And now, even today, late shows are evolving, taking the original formula and making it their own, with some taking on politics, social issues, and bringing in a mix of music, comedy, and, well, good old fun. All right, so that's the new landscape, and let's talk about the late night evolution. And so we have a panel of guests here. We have writer Jeffrey Gurian and comedian extraordinaire, looking pretty fly.
Oh,
Shawn Wayans.
I just got off the plane. I got my airplane hat on.
And editor-in-chief of TVGuide.com, Mickey O'Connor. Thank you guys for being here.
Thanks.
So let's talk about the late. What did you think about the finale? Was it the finale that you expected? Shawn, first question.
I didn't see it. I was on the airplane.
That's fine, but what is?
But it felt like it was really big.
So what do
I
you
could
think?
feel it all the way up 35,000 feet up in the sky. I felt like, man, Letterman's retiring tonight.
Mickey, what did you think?
I think that they were smart in that they did a lot of the goodbyes before the last episode. So the last episode was very retrospective. You saw a lot of the old classic clips, great, segments, him talking to kids, stuff like that I thought was really great. So there wasn't a lot of business to take care of in terms of saying goodbye to all his old friends in that last hour. So.
Did Letterman cry?
No, but we did see a part of him that was very personal, which we never get to see, which we saw his wife and his kids. So, Jeffrey, what did you think about that? Did we break a little bit into what is inside David Letterman?
Well, look, it's always interesting to see the end of an era.
Right.
I mean, 33 years.
Sure.
It was amazing. And and he did give himself some insight into who he was as a person. I thought it was interesting that he showed his wife and his son, who didn't seem particularly interested until
they're not that impressed, right?
Until
that's
they
dad
mentioned
and
his friend. Then his son cheered up, you know. But it was a very cool show. It was kind of unemotional because Dave doesn't really show a lot of emotion. But I think that it was great that all those people came on to honor him.
I mean, that top 10 was hysterical.
Was amazing.
I mean,
it was amazing. It started with Alec Baldwin and,
and it kept
Chris
on
Rock
going.
And Jerry Seinfeld and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, everybody.
Who took a shot at Seinfeld and said, at least this was a good finale.
Right, exactly.
So do you think, where does he stand in the landscape of all of comedians that have done late night? Where would you put him in the pantheon if you could put Letterman in a pantheon?
Well, I would start with Steve Allen,
who
was amazing, and Ernie Kovacs, who a lot of people don't talk about, who was the inspiration for a lot of the wild stuff that goes on today.
You go way back.
I know. I was like, Ernie Kovacs. I was like,
a lot of people don't think about that story.
Like, what?
If he hadn't died so young, he would have been, he really influenced a lot of people to go out and do a lot of crazy stuff on TV.
So what do you think?
I don't know. I think for me, it's all about Carson.
Yeah.
I think that Letterman would say the same. But certainly, I think that he's probably number 2.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I thought Chris Rock had the funniest line. It's like, one of the top 10s was like, it's really great that we have another late night show host, but it ain't black, right? Well, so, I mean, that's really a void in, I think, the American landscape when it comes to comedy. Having a comedian who's mainstream that represents the rest of America. What do you say? Because Stephen Colbert, he's a white guy.
How did I get the black question?
I don't know. Why not? You're black.
No, you just threw to me. Hey, Shawn, answer all the black problems. He gets all the good, where would you put Letterman?
Well, where would you put Letterman in the pantheon?
I would say number 2 because, I mean, the truth is there hasn't been that many other guys to really, there's Leno there too. I think I would say that Letterman is closer to how Carson was, his approach to, doing late night, having fun with bombing. That's what made him great. It's like he actually didn't want really funny stuff in his monologue. He liked to to kind of make fun of the fact that he wasn't doing well. So, you know, I would say number 2.
I agree with number 2. I would agree with that too as well, yeah.
What I'm curious about is, like, now you see the whole variety show aspect coming into late night television. You see a lot of bits, you see a lot of, like, you know, comedy sketches. I mean, I feel like it's not necessarily about stand-up as in the way they did it. Do you feel that the new genre, like Kimmel and I don't know what Colbert is going to do. What do you think he's going to bring to the table?
That remains to be seen,
Yeah.
but I think having a stand-up background is very important. Like, to me, Jimmy Fallon's killing it.
Yeah.
To me, he's the most talented of all the late-night hosts that there ever were.
He's more talented than Kimmel and everybody else,
Yeah,
like
he just
Conan?
sings, dances,
he's
plays
very,
instruments.
yeah, he's very versatile. He just, you know, and he has this kind of impish, kind of substitute teacher kind of vibe. Like, he's almost like he's hosting as if he doesn't care. He's guest hosting for somebody.
Mickey, you're
Exactly.
quiet. Come on,
care.
Mickey, jump in, jump
If
in.
it's good or not.
Well, I think that you know the thing that Jimmy Fallon has right now is he has a sort of sweetness.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of famous, you know, late night hosts have had a bit of an edge. They've had, you know, a little bit cranky.
Yeah. I like cranky. I like edgy.
Sure. But I think
America
that,
likes sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Jimmy
very
Fallon
gracious.
is like,
Yeah, he's very sweet.
Yeah.
But funny.
Very gracious
fun.
and very welcoming.
And welcoming and
Welcoming
talented.
and
makes
game
his
to do
guests feel
anything.
comfortable.
And game to do
and
anything.
that's what the whole thing about late night is that guy you want to fall asleep to. Like, what is the who? It's about they put you to bed.
Yeah, exactly.
The last person that you see before you go to bed,
right?
Yeah.
Very
Okay,
well
so
put.
what are you doing this weekend? Speaking about, like, putting people to bed and what's going on.
Actually, hey, I like the segue. I'm out here doing stand-up at the Stress Factory, putting people to bed out there all weekend long. This weekend in New Jersey, the Stress Factory, Friday through Sunday. So
Friday through Sunday,
come, let me
celebrating
put y'all to
Memorial Day
bed.
weekend
Let me put y'all to bed. That's right.
with a drink and a laugh.
That's right.
I like that.
Or let me
have to
set
come
it
check
up
it out.
before you get into an argument or a fight. You know, that drunk barbecue fight. Let me be the guy to intro that.
Thank you, gentlemen, for talking. It's really interesting. I know we could talk about it all night long. The evolution of late night. And, of course, it will continue on in our Craig Treadway's Live Outside the Ed Sullivan Theater with everything that you might have missed. It's 7:40.